This time I'd like to welcome everyone to the annual State of the Town Address. I'd like to give you a report on how the budget projections have fared thus far. A brief review of the department's accomplishments and goals and objectives for the upcoming year. Tonight, I want to speak on how we will move forward and ultimately lay out a solid foundation for fiscal and financial accountability. At a time when many municipalities are having furloughs, layoffs, cutbacks, and even worse, irresponsibly operating in the red, the town of Taos finances remain without a doubt very solid, in the black, and stable. And our marketing, promoting Taos, is still funded at an increased level of $400,000, and when you calculate in-kind contributions, in excess of $600,000. We continue to monitor our budgets closely, not only mid-year, not monthly, weekly, but daily. In this economic downturn, that's what it takes to operate a solid budget. With the multi-million-dollar Echo Park, the various road projects such as the Reed and Alexander project, the Estes Road project, the new Chamisa Road water and sewer line extension, we continue to allocate those budgeted funds to make sure that our infrastructure needs are met. That is almost unheard of in this economic downturn when many municipalities simply are cutting back and many are operating in the red. Our annual general fund operating budget for 2011-2012 is $10,575,000. Our total budget for the town of Taos is $33,661,000. Now, many of you will ask, why is there such a difference? Well, there's two budgets that we monitor, two types of budgets. The $10,575,000 reflects the annual operating budget. The total budget of $33,661,000 reflects the ongoing budget, which includes the many grants, budget line items that we have for matching funds. So the town of Taos, as you can see, is very healthy when it comes to our budgets. The latest GRT figures, January's report, which reflects November's activity, show an increase of 3.72%, which equates to 27,000 in comparison to the same period and month last year. The largest increase was up 56%, or $95,000, was retail trade. The largest decrease, which was construction, was down 62.21%, which reflects $80,000. The largest tax figures, year to date, show an increase of 6.7%. That means people are coming here. It's a better year than last year as it relates to tourism and people spending the night in our hotels. However, when you look at the overall picture, when you see the decrease that we had from last year, it also shows us that people are spending less when they come down. What is our core responsibilities? And that is our infrastructure. We did an assessment through our Public Works Department, and we realized that certain roads were going to need some serious repair, maintenance, and upkeep. I want to talk about the successes of the town of Taos over the last year. I've always said, and I've always preached this, and many of you are tired of hearing me say this, but I've always said that government will work as fast, as slow as you allow it, and it'll work as fast as you push it. I'm here to say and thank the staff of the town of Taos for supporting this effort in pushing government to work for you. When I met with the Pueblo, I gave them my commitment to work closely with them on this resolving this airport issue. But I knew we were going to have to agree on something. So I crossed that line and I asked them, what is it that you want out of this? And the message was very clear. The message was clear. We want to protect the Pueblo. Who can oppose that? So we started from there. We built consensus from there. we worked closely hand in hand with the Pueblo to convince the FAA to offer an unprecedented offer that they've never offered in protection of any cultural site. And it is a step in the right, it's the first step in a direction that we're going to support the Pueblo in the long term. I feel remiss to tell you this because I want to let you know that I will continue to not lose focus on what the mission is. My one promise to you has always been that I will always base my decisions on the facts presented to me, never losing focus on what is in the best interest of the town of Taos. I say this because a few individuals have been critical of a few of my decisions. This I welcome. I welcome that you hold me to task on any decision I make. Hold me to task, though, on the facts. Hold this governing body to task on the facts. I must say that I'm not perfect. And yes, not all the policy decisions I've made work out in the way we intended them to be. Rest assured that my commitment is to carry out the oath of this office on behalf of the citizens of Taos. This year was a tough year. I had to remind myself consistently of the commitment I made and not lose focus. When I was elected, one of my platforms and one of the outcries that I heard was they wanted a mayor that was more involved. They wanted a mayor, a full-time mayor. That's what I heard all the time. I knew it was going to be a big commitment to fulfill this. Because I've been fulfilling this, I've been accused of micromanaging. There's a big difference of micromanaging and holding people accountable. A big difference. In business, I've learned to lead people, sometimes you just have to walk behind them. I have no problem carrying the flag in front of people, but sometimes to carry out your leadership responsibilities, you have to walk behind them. It's disheartening to me when certain critics become shameless detractors and turn into mean, cruel individuals that would much rather be against something than for something. To the point that when they disagree with a decision, they feel the need to justify their disagreement by falsely accusing one of you're corrupt, or he must be his buddy, or the good old boy network. And if that weren't enough, they would resort to fabricating blatantly false accusations and untruths just to carry out their vendetta. But when individuals have a vendetta, I'm sorry, I just can't help you. There's just no way, no matter how hard I try. I say this because imagine what we can accomplish if people would let go of their obsession over their differences. And I say obsession over their differences. And simply focus on the mission at hand. I mentioned earlier about creating a solid foundation. And it reminds me of a quote. A successful person is one who can lay a solid foundation from the very bricks others have thrown at it. I'm here to tell you that I'm going to continue in this mission to work on behalf of the town of Taos. There's a level of distrust in government in general. And we realize that we're an arm's length away from that distrust. We realize you can't go and touch and feel your congressman in Washington. You can't have access, but my cell phone is always ringing. And when there's a level of frustration, even the most remote level of frustration, Mayor Cordova is going to hear it, or any of the council members are going to hear that frustration. That distrust will resonate down to our level. And we got elected to take that heat. Many feel that the political differences may be too deep to achieve certain goals. In this down economy, more than ever, we must unite as a governing body and never lose focus on who we work for. No matter how hard we try, you must do everything in your power, in your business, to offer the one component that is so relevant, and that is offer the best customer service to your customers. Superior quality customer service is not an accessory. It's an absolute necessity to the success of your business. In closing, I leave you with this final message. The state of the town of Taos is solvent, in the black, and on the right track.